Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year to everyone here. We've really been blessed with really good weather, haven't we, in the last couple days? Yeah. Yesterday, a lot of sun. Today, a lot of sun. Everybody was outside walking around. It's a really good way to start the new year, don't you think? But don't expect it to last for too long, okay? So we are in Ohio, by the way, right? Okay, so just let this fire up here. Again, Happy New Year to everybody. In fact, you know what year this is? The year of the golden pig. Now, I don't know about you, but the farmers I know out in where I live, if they were to go to their barn in the morning and their sow gave birth to a golden pig, they'd be pretty shocked, I think, to see a golden pig out there. Say, hey, Mom, come out here and check this out. We got a golden pig out here in the barn. And might say, hey, I don't think that pig's going to fit in my safety deposit box. Might have to make some pork chops, put them in the safety deposit box. So it's the year of the pig this year. All right, so last year too, we had a message from Marilyn in the back, right? And she gave us a talk about goal setting and having the whys very clear, right, when we do goals. Everybody remember that message, right? So did anybody set goals for this year? A few of you raise your hand, okay? Sometimes I think in our church our goals are really high, right? I mean, they're so high that probably a lot of you feel like you can't reach those goals. How many feel that way? Yeah, I feel that way too, right? It's like they seem unattainable, right? We can't really reach them. So it's important to understand that everybody has their own talents and their own abilities to do certain things. And not everybody can do big things, but some people can do little things too. And when we look at our collective group as a whole, our community, then we can see how they all kind of fit together, right? And that's what I want to talk to you about today. And that is that before we can go forward, we want to take a look back, okay, at what we've accomplished this year. Because we've actually done a lot of things, even though we may not feel like it sometimes, right? I mean, sometimes it seems like things are going really slow, or we're not really accomplishing much. But actually, we've done a lot of things. And I'm going to take us back through the year just to see what we've accomplished over the last 12 months. And then we can make a new start, and then we can go forward. Okay? So that's my goal today, is take you back through the year today. So, our Trinity pastor teams, we took over the reins here of the church back in September of 2017. And this was our first project that we did, as you all recalled. That was our first Christmas concert that we had before we renovated the church chapel, right? And that was really our start. And through our Christmas concerts, we've really created quite a outreach program for our community, right? I feel especially now very comfortable inviting guests to our new chapel. What do you think? Do you like the new chapel? Looks nice, right? So this was last year, before we had the chapel fixed up. We had a very nice Christmas concert. Seiko Lee came in and her team. And then the next big project we did was the chapel renovation. That's what the old church used to look like. And then we went through the process. Asako, Kim, and myself, we were project managers. Remember that place? There's Richard over there in the corner there. We tore everything down. This wall over here was falling down We actually had to reinforce this wall. This building was built in the 1960s. This is the stage. What do you think? Looks nice, right? So that was one big accomplishment we had to start out in the first part of this year. That's just this year we did this. Here's a comparison side by side. Which one do you like better? Nice, right? So we've done something this year, right? Maybe we don't feel like we've done big things, but yeah, we've done some things. But this is just the start. So let's look some more here. Oh yeah, also we had the opening ceremony here. We had all the big wigs here. Former President Richard Busing came here last year. Okay, so when I talk about the little things that people do, these guys are really the big guys, okay? Because without these people right here, we couldn't hold our ACLC projects, the UPF activities, right? Our Christmas concert, the cooks, right? All the people that work in the kitchen. It may seem like it's a small thing, but actually it's a very big thing. And so the first thing I wanted to do is recognize those people. And we had a special award ceremony for them. Especially Mrs. Kim, right? Mrs. Kim, she gets on a bus early in the morning and comes down here to provide food for us every Sunday. So let's give Mrs. Kim a really big hand. And she's not a young chicken either. I think she's somewhere in her mid-70s or so. So those little efforts make a big difference. And she really, if you've ever watched them put together the offering tables, you know, they start early in the morning. It's really quite a job to put the offering tables together. If you haven't seen them, you should come to one of our holiday celebrations. We do it every holiday, usually at 7 p.m. in the evening on the holiday. So please come out. You can see how beautiful that offering table is. And the sisters put a lot of mio, and the sisters put a lot of effort in these offering tables. So this is all part of our success this year, our goal setting. Okay, our big project here that once we renovated the church chapel was the Phoenix project came here to Columbus. Everybody remember that? Anybody attend that? So that was our first public event after we had the renovation of our chapel. Mark Anderson and his wife, Lucia, were here. Very successful event. Then we had Fatu's brother come here. This is our first national level leader come right here to this stage right here. The national leader of Senegal was here and gave us a sermon, shared about his experiences. Mother had just promoted him to the international leader of Senegal after her successful summit. Remember that? So we had him here. So some things we did some things this year, right? Is Fatu here today? I don't see her. There she is right there. She just walked in. We're just talking about you, Fatu. Talking about your brother's visit here. Yeah. He's a great guy. Very nice man. Maybe we should all go visit him sometime in Senegal. Who remembers Mrs. Yu? She came here, had her last tour, came through Columbus, Ohio. Mrs. Yu's a great lady. She has been here when we were down on Indianola Avenue and living in the fraternity house. She used to come visit us down there back in the early days. Joseph probably remembers that. So we had a nice visit with Mrs. Yu and her son's a wonderful person too. We got a chance to meet him. And this is her last trip here. She may not be with us very much longer, so we're really thankful that she could come through, and that was a really highlight of this year as well. All right, then the big providential stuff started happening, right? Came back from Korea, got all inspired about all the blessings going on. So we started the marriage blessing movement here in Columbus. A lot of us got together. You can see Susan's there and my wife and myself, and we started blessing down at the Walmarts. Fantastic experience. If you've never done it, You should try it. Absolutely the best thing I've ever done. So exciting to give the blessing. People were so happy. They'd say things like, wow, you guys are really doing this? This is amazing. It's incredible. Look at all these beautiful people down there. Kids. They really want family relationships. Everybody wants an ideal family. This guy right here, if I start talking about him, I'll start crying because he came out of the Walmart, and I would capture people when they'd come out, and I'd say things like, "Are you married?" And then I'd pull them over, And I said that to this guy, and he started to bite his tongue. He just stood there like this. And he was crying. His wife was just killed in an automobile accident maybe a week before we met him in the Walmart. And he was so thankful we gave him the blessing. You can't imagine. It was really a deep experience for me. And I could really feel the value of doing the blessing. And we could bless him and his wife, spirit world type blessing. Really nice guy. And he, gave us a little bit of money and walked away. And it was just a really wonderful experience. So lots of blessings we gave. Met a lot of people from Nepal. We're there. Nepal's really active, right? A lot of things happening in Nepal right now. Wonderful people. Nepalese people are very nice people. These are just some pictures from this year. It's all at the Walmart. Can you believe this? Looks like a little microcosm of the entire world. We met people from India, from Pakistan, Hispanics, whites, blacks, people from Nepal, all over, Muslim countries. It's a great place. See this nice little canopy we had set up? Goldham, right? And a couple of the Japanese Kodan sisters actually went to the Walmart and got permission for us to set up a canopy out in front of the Walmart. And so we set it up there and started doing blessings. And we became a fixture there, So wonderful families. Yoko, she's been working really hard. It's very difficult for some people to do the blessings, but together as a team, we could accomplish things, right? So it's all about teamwork. It's not so much about individual successes, but it's us working together to fulfill, the bigger picture, because not everybody can do this. I feel very confident doing this because I can speak the language and I feel confident in what I'm doing, but not everybody can do that. So even though you might set a goal, it may not be so easy for some people. This was close to where we lived. My wife had blessed this couple out in Hilliard. Turns out she was Japanese and he was American. Thought that was kind of interesting, kind of a little coincidence there. And they were just getting ready to go to Japan, right? And we were just getting ready to go to Japan. So see how God works, kind of little mysterious things behind the scenes that you don't see. So our first goal was to make our church together as a community, a tribal Messiah accomplisher, okay? And we were able to do that. 430 couples as a community, together as a group, not as individuals, but together as a community. And then the next goal was to try to, do it as individuals. And we were able to do that. One couple here was able to do that. So me and my wife were able to reach the 430 number this year. And now we're able to open the door, because one person has to do it first, open the door for everybody else to come after us. That's the condition that we made. So we're able to do that, and now we want to be able to spread that to others in our community. Who would like to do tribal messiahship this year? Can I see your hands? Great. Sumiko will have a list in the back here. Please write your names down, sign up sheet, and we'll get together and find out ways in which we can work together to accomplish tribal messiahship as individuals. Okay? Also this week is TribeNet as well. TribeNet's meeting in Las Vegas at IPEC. I'll be going, and my wife will be going, so we can get ideas, share information, so we can bring it back to you so we can all practice together. Okay, then so that's one big accomplishment. What do you think? Is that a big accomplishment? So all you guys did that, okay? Everybody here accomplished that. It's not our own victory, okay? It's everybody's accomplishment together. We did this. So I want you to realize that we together do these things. Because ultimately it's God's victory, right? So we're part of God's community, God's tribe, so we do these things together. Okay, so we started doing blessings, ACLC blessings and prayer breakfast here. This couple received the blessing, very wonderful experience. Nice couple. Had ACLC meetings here, prayer breakfast just about every month in our new chapel. So again, the cooks were really working in the kitchens, right, preparing all the food. Like without the cooks, we couldn't have a prayer breakfast, right? See how they kind of mix together there? Breakfast, and then you do the mission work. Okay, we had a blessing of Reverend Reese's daughter here. We also had a holy blessing ceremony here from Korea, right? We had the broadcast here as well. We did a number of Universal Peace Federation events here, right here in our new chapel. So the chapel was getting a lot of use this year, right? A lot of activity. These are great people. Chris started, as you heard last week, his Peace Council. That's one thing that he accomplished. That was his goal. He was able to accomplish that this year. The young people have been coming back. They've been using our facilities. We have nice sound system and lighting, so they've been active here on Friday nights with their Good Life and the youth. And another really big thing that's been exciting too is our Divine Principle study on Tuesday nights. We started that about a year ago. We've been very consistent every Tuesday, and it's been a wonderful experience. Marilyn was there one time, I know. Chantel's been out a number of times. We sometimes have small groups like this, but we've had it up as much as 12 people at a time, 12, 13. And Ricardo right here has been, religiously comes every Tuesday. He loves the principle, engaging in it, and it's been a really good experience for him and for everybody that attends. Our Family Fest, remember that? Right? I got sick on the Family Fest day, remember that? I wasn't here. But I heard it was a pretty successful event. Maybe you know better than me. One person that came out of it was Ryuki, which is my wife's coworker from her work. And he went through the entire Divine Principle at our home. We took him through the entire course from beginning to end. And he was very inspired. He's a very intelligent engineer, works at her work, and is connecting now with our church in Japan, in Tokyo. So both Ryuki and Ricardo have really been reborn in Divine Principle this year. So together we've been able to accomplish that too. Very exciting. This is at our house. We invited them over for dinner every week on Tuesday nights, I think it was. Or was it Wednesday night? Wednesday night, I think. So we'd have dinner and then we'd do Divine Principle study. We use Mrs. Yu's PowerPoint presentation. Okay, another big thing we did too is we had a 3-day workshop for Divine Principle at Camp Mazumdar, which is another really nice opportunity we have here. Flights to Las Vegas are very cheap. Camp Mazumdar is just a couple hours away. We took Ricardo up there for 3 days. Reverend Morales gave him some Divine Principle education. Great experience. There's Reverend Morales teaching Ricardo right here. See him in the corner. This is at the Los Angeles Church. And this is on the last day we went swimming down at the lake at the bottom. Who'd like to go to Camp Mazumdar this year with a trip? we can organize it. It's really a jewel in the mountains that we own. And Reverend Morales is an excellent divine principle lecturer. He'll cook for you, he'll teach you, and there's wonderful places to visit. So maybe in the summer we'll plan something like that. Spirit Airlines round trip, $123 to Las Vegas. We're going to TribeNet, only $123 round trip to Las Vegas. Anybody can do that. Save your coffee money, okay? Then you can go to Camp Mazumdar in the summer. Okay, we had the Chicago Liberation Ceremony. Everybody, who went to Chicago? Just about everybody, right? Okay, that's a big event. You know, we did a lot there, right? We liberated our ancestors. So you can see we've done a lot of things, even though it may not seem like a lot has been accomplished. And then, of course, True Mother came to visit us. We all went to Nassau Coliseum, right? Took a bus. Susan was the director of the bus. She did a great, fantastic job. Give her a big hand. I wish I was on the bus. I missed the bus. But all of her stories I heard, they just had a great time. They were passing food around and singing songs, and it was just a great trip. So wonderful experience for those who went. Okay, so one really big victory we realized was through the blessings at the Walmart, is that while I was out in Mazumdar, actually I got a text from somebody we had blessed at the Walmart, said, "Do you do marriage counseling?" Well, first thing I thought is, number one is I became a pastor about a year ago. I came out of the business world. I have no special training. I'm not a theologian. I'm not a scholar. And I thought, how can I be a marriage counselor, right? But Reverend Morales said, you know what, Marcus? You know because you have a marriage, so you can be a coach. And I thought, well, he's right. I have some experience. Who can better give counseling than us, right? We have the truth, we have divine principle, we understand the fall. So I said, yes, we do marriage coaching. Then I had to go figure out what I was going to coach to the guy. Anyway, the good thing is we're members of the TribeNet. Who's members of the TribeNet? All right, raise your hands. Yeah. TribeNet had all kinds of resources. Marriage preparation course and the marriage course which we have been practicing here. So this couple came through our 5-week marriage preparation course right here in our chapel. We took them all the way through it. That's a big victory. Give them a big hand. Good quality people. He's a teacher. She's an administrator in the schools here in Columbus, Ohio. Wonderful people. We took them out to lunch, dinner over at Akihana Restaurant, and really nice folks. And they got a lot of value out of marriage preparation. And then, of course, we've been doing the marriage course. Last night we had a course here, and we're learning about how to communicate, how to be better couples, and date night, that's right. Mrs. Kim, again, working hard, prepares a big meal for us, okay? And then we come in and we practice with our workbooks, marriage course. So at the beginning of the year, I said we should make this chapel, we should call it the Marriage and Education Center, right? Remember when I said that last year? So it's starting to come true, right? God's revealing that through us as a whole, as a group. It's very important that we can offer something to people, not just the blessing in front of the Walmart. We want to give them some tangible results, right? Okay, then we went to the sub-regional leaders meeting in Minnesota. David Rendell. Now I started talking about goals, okay? Started laying it on us, right? Okay, guys, you leaders, you know, we got to get in line Got to figure out what True Mother wants us to do, what it wants us to accomplish. Look at the size of our sub-region. Can you believe the size of this thing? Look at that. All the way in North Dakota, Kansas. So we're all there in Minnesota talking about the goals for the new year, what True Mother's asking for us to do. They had their opening ceremony at the Minnesota church. We attended that also as well. Beautiful church. First one that's been built from the ground up. It's a wonderful facility. Met our old friend Reverend Dew, used to be our regional director here. He's a nice guy. They had their opening ceremony too as well, like we did. Look at that, beautiful building, right? Nice chapel. Okay, and then we finished off our year. Just last week, you were all present there, and we did our Christmas concert in our new chapel. Who enjoyed that this year? Can I see your hands? Let's give it up for Seiko Lee and all those that worked really hard on the project, right? That was quite an undertaking, lots of hard work. The dancers, Fatu and her team, they did an excellent job, right? Roxanne and Fatu and all the dancers. That was great. Of course, we had the jazz ensemble. Seiko Lee's voice cleaned up all the spirits. We're all free now to start the new year. Everything's been cleansed. Do you feel it? Do you feel like the chapel's changed? Do you feel very light, like it's clean? Sayori's dance. We couldn't go to Hawaii, but we were in Hawaii, although here, right? There you go, Bishop Cashing, giving Seiko a big round of applause there. Okay, let's give everybody a big hand. This is what we accomplished last year. Okay, we did a lot, right? Yeah, probably a lot of you are thinking, oh, we didn't really accomplish very much. What did we really do, right? We did a lot, don't you think? But we didn't do it as just individuals. We did it together as a group. So that's our victory. Okay, so now we start all over again. All clean slate. Fresh slate, new beginning, new start. So what do you want to accomplish this year? Well, what is True Mother asking us to do 2019? That's what's most important, is what she's asking us to do, right? I mean, we all have our individual goals, but we want to try to unite with our True Mother, true parents, because that's the most important thing. Well, what has she told us? She gave us our motto for this year. The motto is the firm establishment of the era of the heavenly unified Korea. So a lot of things happening in North-South unification right now. There are some talks going on between the United States and North Korea, between Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, and there's a lot of movement right now happening between North and South unification. Do you think that's by coincidence? Right? It's based on the foundation of 2020 and all the conditions that brothers and sisters made and also our true parents made to make this a reality. True Mother feels this and senses this. That's why this is our motto for this year. Oh, is it wrong? That's right. My wife pointed that out. I'm glad she's my administrator, so that's my error. I'll correct that. Okay, so also we have a 40-day prayer condition, national prayer condition. Everybody get an email on that? Did you start in January? Okay, I know I did. I know we did. Let's read the 40-day national prayer condition. Number 1, for the safety, health, and victory of our true mother, for unity with heavenly parent and true parents. Number 2, for America to achieve national restoration and become a nation that recognizes and attends heavenly parent and true parents. Number 3, for the fulfillment of heavenly tribal Messiah providence, for the safety, inspiration, and empowerment of all leaders and tribal messiahs and victory in their tribal messiahship endeavors. Number 4, to strengthen the witnessing environment in cooperation with ACLC, UPF, and WFWP activities. Number 5, for our second generation to inherit true parents' tradition and apply their talents towards the national restoration. Okay? So this gives us an idea of where we want to go. So we get the big picture from our true parents, right? And then it kind of filters down through our president, our continental directors, our sub-region, down to our local pastor level. And this is for us on the individual level. Now these are kind of big, goals, right? And you probably look at it and say, that's a tough one. I don't know if I can do that. But together we can. Okay, so our goal is very clear. David Rendell laid it out for us. Very simple. It's only 2 goals we have for this year. Super simple. So simple, it's ridiculously simple. Give the blessing to 430 couples. Give the blessing to 430 ancestor couples. Not so hard, really. We were able to accomplish it in 1 year. And really, we were using some of our other foundation from previous years. We didn't have to do it step by step because they changed some of the guidelines on what we can accept. So we were able to add some of those previously blessed couples from earlier times, okay? So if you're not aware of that information, TribeNet will give that to you, so you can include that in your 430 number, okay? So build your own family of God's children. I like that. Marilyn was mentioning last week that she didn't like the term tribal messiahship, or it's kind of broad, right? It's kind of hard to get your head around, especially in the West. But how about build your own family of God's children? Maybe that's a little more, user-friendly, right? So this is kind of what it looks like right here, okay? Get an image of that. Kind of an international mix. Okay, again, if you're interested in, not everybody's going to want to do this, but those that are interested in doing blessings this year, then again, please see Sumiko in the back. There'll be a sign-up sheet. We'll gather everybody's names, and then we can collaborate together in the new year and figure out how we can do this, okay? And we're going to get some ideas from TribeNet, some areas that other people have succeeded in. We can bring those back and then apply them here. Okay, so I'd like to conclude with True Mother's speech from her New Year's midnight address, okay, to conclude my talk today. We're going to listen to what True Mother has to say.
Beloved, blessed families,
전 세계에서
and beloved,
시청하고 있는
blessed families
축복 가정 여러분,
who are watching today's event live throughout the world, I truly love all of you.
우리는
We,
기필코
without fail,
하늘 부모님의 꿈
must realize the dream of Heavenly Parent and the historical wish of humanity.
앞장서는
We need to take the
자랑스러운
lead
축복
by
가정들
becoming
힘을
the blessed families, the proud
선포합니다.
blessed families. That is my proclamation today.
하늘의 섭리는 놀랍습니다.
Heaven's providence is
아까
truly
기도에서도
amazing.
얘기했듯이
As I mentioned during my midnight prayer,
10간 12지 아시는 분은 아실 겁니다.
those who know shall recognize the propitious time.
해가 12돌기의
And
마지막 해입니다.
this is the last year in a
2015
12-year cycle.
새롭게
And
출발되는
it is also the year that marks the beginning of
우리
the march towards 2020.
한국의
Therefore,
축복 가정 여러분들이
all of you blessed families, in particular blessed families in Korea,
과거 우리들의 선조들이 염원했고
please remember the
많은
ardent wish with
어려운
which
환경
our
가운데서도
ancestors toiled tirelessly, hoping for this
민족을
day, a
위해서
day when our people
선구자의
could
길을 걷고
live in freedom and
자랑스러운
happiness. They lived
우리의
as martyrs, as pioneers,
선조들을
despite countless
가지고
persecutions.
그러나
Our
그들은
ancestors sacrificed
하늘의
themselves
섭리는 몰랐습니다.
for the sake of a greater ideal, and yet they
왜
did not fully understand God's
이렇게
providence. They did not fully understand why
모든 인류가
our people had to suffer so much,
평화로운 세계를
and
원하고
why,
있지만
despite the ardent wish of humanity, which is the realization of a world of peace, why is it that not even once in 6,000 years of human
그러한
history
시대는
there
없었습니다.
was not a period marked by peace, free
원인은
from war
잘못되었기
and
때문입니다.
discord?
우리는
It is because the origin
그 원인을
could not be
압니다.
fulfilled. We know what the true origin is. We know
알고
the
있는
cause
입장에서
of the human fall.
모르는
Therefore,
사람들은
we who know the
교육해야
truth
할
of
것입니다.
heaven must teach this
원래
truth to those who do not know.
우주의 주인은
Originally,
창조주 하나님이십니다.
God is the true creator. He's the origin.
오늘날의 전 세계는
And
200여 개국이 넘습니다.
Today, when we look at the world,
큰 나라나
there
작은
are more than 200
다
nations,
자기
both
것이라고 합니다.
great and humble nations.
그러나
And yet, the common point is all nations
그것은
claim
없습니다.
that they are the
주인이
owners of this world, of its
창조주
resources.
하나님인데
But the true owner
그
is
하나님을
God the
인정하지
Creator.
않는
And unless God recognizes a nation,
있을 수
there
없습니다.
can be no true nation. Unless God recognizes our human ownership,
우리는
we cannot own anything. That is why
아는 입장에서
we who are in a position of knowing God's will
하나님의
must
자녀가 되는 그 자리만이
truly ascend to the position of becoming
주시면은
God's
그것이
true
내 것이
children.
되는 것입니다.
And when God gives us something, it
이러한
truly becomes ours. It is only when we receive from God that we can own what God has given us.
일들을 놓고 볼 때
Therefore, when we look at the various phenomena happening around the world today,
우리가 할 일은
what we need to do
하나님을 알게 해 주어야 합니다.
is our responsibility is to help others
창조주
know
하나님,
and learn about God. God is the creator,
인간
the creator who created heaven and earth.
여자를 창조했습니다.
God in the beginning created the first human ancestors, a man and a woman, to become the true parents of humanity. And God gave them a special blessing, which is to go through a period of growth, reach maturity in absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience, and reach the position where they could receive God's
하늘
blessing,
부모님께서
where they would become the
인류의
true,
창조상,
substantial
부모의
embodiment
자리가 되는
of
것입니다.
heavenly parent, and thus become the true parent, the true
그런
ancestor,
축복을
and the
하셨는데
true first ancestors of humanity. Despite such tremendous
조상이 될 수
blessings,
있는
Adam and Eve, who had
그
the
자리를
potential to
잃어버렸습니다.
become the first human ancestors,
그래서
failed
하늘은
to fulfill their responsibility and lost their identity.
수고와
That is why heaven had no choice but to initiate the tremendously painful, arduous, and tearful history of the providence of restoration through indemnity. Heaven had no choice but to initiate the providence of restoration. How painful must this providence have been, that it took 4,000 biblical years before God could send His only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, on this earth. However, despite heaven's best efforts, neither Mary, who bore Jesus, who gave birth to Jesus, nor the people of Israel, nor the Jewish leaders of the time recognized Jesus' true identity. Christians today believe that they will find salvation through the blood of Christ on the cross. But as He laid on the cross, Jesus prophesied that He would come again, and come again to host the holy wedding of the Lamb. Therefore, anyone who is truly wise would wonder when, where, and how would the only begotten daughter, the bride-to-be of Jesus, would come. That should be the focal point of Christians. Where would the only begotten daughter come? God is almighty, omniscient, and omnipotent. God has the exact same beginning and end. Therefore, God has no choice but to be victorious in the fulfillment of His ideal. However, the biggest issue was that God gave human beings a special blessing, a portion of responsibility. And until this is realized, until true parents could be born on this earth, God had to wait 6,000 long biblical years. And at the center of this yearning, this waiting for true parents, God blessed the Korean Peninsula. God blessed the Republic of Korea. Therefore, the Republic of Korea is a people who must all receive true parents' blessing. Isn't that so? Yes. We need to fulfill our responsibility, because every blessing entails a responsibility, and failure to fulfill that responsibility only engenders greater indemnity. The time that we have been given is finite. It is 1 year. Do you understand? In this year of the pig, without fail, we must realize national restoration. We must receive the right of citizens of Chonilguk and push ahead without stopping. Push ahead with all of your energies. Aju.
여러분 모두 자리에
Yes,
일어나서
once again, everyone, please
우리에게 귀한
rise.
말씀을 주신
Let
어머니께
us give a
감사와
big
결의의
round
박수를
of
힘차게
applause to our
올려드립시다.
beloved true mother for giving us such precious words of truth. Thank you, true mother.
다음에는
Next,
선진 장군
Okay, brothers and sisters, so brand new year, very serious year in some ways, right? This is the last year before 2020, right? This is where God's whole effort has been focused to this point. Are we awake? Are we ready to go in the new year? What do you think? Say yes if you're really, really ready. Stand up. Stand up. right. So let's do together as our community, right? It's not just an individual thing. If you're sitting there thinking, oh, I can't do that myself, I understand. But together we can do it as a community. So it's a community effort. All right? Together we're strong. Together we can fulfill for God and true parents. Do you want to do that? Yeah? All right. Let's do it. Okay, so let's pray together. Okay, dear Heavenly Parent and true parents, thank you so much that we could gather here on this first Sunday of 2019, the year of the golden pig, that we can stand here with true parents. We have physical body, we have a nice church building, we have wonderful brothers and sisters, we have everything that we need to accomplish your will at this time in history. Father, the only thing that's stopping us is our confidence and our commitment and our faith. The entire spiritual world and all of history is waiting for this moment before 2020. Just one more year. You heard True Mother speak. She said just one more year before 2020. And she also gave us a warning too. If you heard very carefully, there was a warning in that too. That if we don't accomplish, then there's greater indemnity to be paid. Now, I know a lot of times we hear that word and we feel, more heavy or more responsibility, but it just should encourage us to do more and to make more effort. So let us wake ourselves up in this new year. Let us determine to do our best, whether it's cooking in the kitchen, whether it's sweeping the floor, whether it's just dropping your tithes in the offering basket, or whether it's just saying hello to somebody with a smile on your face. Every little bit that we do is important. It doesn't have to be the big things. It can be the small things that make the difference. So we pray for each brother and sister as we start the new year that we can do our best. We can pray every day. We can read Father's words. We can invest in others. That's the key to our success. And through my experience, giving the blessing is really a wonderful experience, not only for the couples, but also for ourselves. So, Father, we pray and offer this blessing prayer over this new year, 2019. Please bless each brother and sister in our community as we go forward in this last year, 2019, into 2020, in this golden year of the pig. We pray all these things now and offer them in my name, Marcus and Sumiko Vandermark. Bless Central family. Adieu and amen. Okay, thank you very much.